We had no warning. He just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle.
Pour me one.
I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch Bernard.
I'd like a beer.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujits, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
As you wish.
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret.
I'll fetch it right away.
But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. For years it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł desnej smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech już małżeński majstrat, do wczera żył nestaje prak. Už sejmoj svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě i kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si umí jako poslední den. Půjdu se bávy, panorama slávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu jsou nejdem, tak nalej mi hned, ať točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
So, my dear, wouldn't you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a fool.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own? Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head.
My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once, the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do, exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
I could do with a bite to eat.
Never show up. The swimp.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm glad
silver
he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it. I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Get the hell out of here. There's nothing here. What's the matter with you? Anything else? What the hell was that?
You've no business here. Clear off.
What's that?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you teach me something?
Certainly.
I'm interested in more.
Wouldn't you rather learn the basics?
Well,
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Good luck, then.
the hell was that?
Hey! Be quick about it. Can you hear?
Now I'll teach you. This definitely won't come cheap. You'll learn. Crime doesn't pay.
You're making a serious mistake. If only you knew what you've just got yourself into. This won't end well for you.
Well, I thought, that is, I had no idea. Well, if that's how it is, of course you may go. Surrender!
Don't you
You're
start.
under arrest for breaking the law.
Oh well, I wouldn't mind a bite to eat, actually.
Good health to you.
The parish priest here in Uzis is a peculiar sort of cleric. I noticed he's quite handy with a sword.
He is indeed. He's as hard as nails. More than once he's intervened in a brawl in the tavern and sat everyone on their asses. He's not to be taken lightly.
I doubt he acquired those skills at the seminary.
You know how it goes. The nobles send their youngest sons to study for the priesthood, and our parish priest has blue blood in him. He probably learned to fight at home before he went to university. That's how it goes with those aristocrats. But I heard something happened and he was roving the world for a while. Don't know what he got up to though.
I doubt he acquired...
He probably...
Farewell.
Oh, damn it, I'm hungry.
Is someone there?
What's with you?
Good God, you look...
Father, didn't I see you outside practicing swordplay? I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practiced with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form. God be with you.
Could do with a bite to eat.
have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Well, don't keep for a bit. I'm not sure.
Don't worry. Plenty of women have tried it before us.
What if it does work? What if he does appear?
But that's what we want, isn't it? Let's go. What do you want?
I'm gathering herbs. Stay out of my way.
Herbs, my foot? You're that sneaky lad that was nosing around asking us questions. Get lost.
Damn it, I'm hungry.
True. Don't worry. Plenty of women have tried it before. But if it does, what if he does appear? But that's what we want, isn't it? Let's go.
Don't you start. Oh well, I wouldn't mind a bite to eat, actually.
we're here. We all know what to do, don't we?
I'm not altogether sure. Gertrude didn't want to say anything about that. So all we know is what we came up with ourselves. Dan.
I hear someone coming. Who's there? Is it you, Kuta?
No, I'm still over here.
What's going on here?
Welcome, Prince of Darkness. And make yourself at home.
What would you like us to do? We will fulfill your every wish if you fulfill ours.
Prince of Darkness? What in God's name are you babbling about?
Why are you testing us?
Testing you? Jesus Christ, what have you been smearing on yourselves?
A magic ointment from the herb woman? We are ready to pleasure you, Lord. In return, all we ask is that you rid us of the humans. And if you won't rid us of them, then help us get away from here. Give us riches, so we can start a new life in the city.
I won't be fulfilling any of your wishes.
Oh. What must we do to please you, O Lord?
In return, you'll have to... Shit. I feel very weird.
Oh, that ointment. You smeared the ointment on me.
Fear not, my lord. Nothing will happen to you. It's all part of the ceremony.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? What did you do to me?
Are you quite well after your long journey?
Huh? Long journey? What?
From the gates of hell to here. When will you take care of the humans? And why don't you have horns and hooves and a goat's tail, like the priest said?
How come you're a talking mare?
What mare? Does your sight deceive you? I'm Vera, and I turn many a young man's head in Uzhitz.
I flew in on a tree branch. It took no time at all.
Flying on a branch? Will you teach us how to do that too? We are your maid servants now. We'll do anything you wish.
I got rid of my horns and hooves along the way, and I keep my tail in my breeches. I only get it out for special occasions.
I hope there'll be one soon enough.
Actually, I wanted something else.
What's that, oh Lord?
Will you serve me and do all I tell you to?
Oh yes, our Lord of Hellfire. We'll do whatever you want. Just rid us of those wretched humans. Which one will you take first?
Me! Take me!
No, me!
And what about the other one? Why doesn't she speak up?
Kuta, you chicken! Speak up!
I want you, Mare. Vera.
I knew it! Come on, come closer to me.
I could do with a bite to eat.
That was tough. Oh, but I'm all dizzy again.
What is wrong with you? Is something going to come of it or not?
I need to sleep.
Bugger sleep! What was that? What is it? Someone coming!
Just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone. Is that all you've got?
Ow!
Come here. Is that the best you can do? Yeah! Kunda! Bring it on!
Yes!
Well landed. You'll get what for. Come here, lily liver. Now you're done for.
Ow!
I'll slaughter you.
You call that combat? Ow!
Your end is nigh. Is that all you've got?
Yeah!
Take that. I'm gonna enjoy.
Ow!
Is that the best you can do? Here. Come here, lily liver.
Go!
Gone weak at the knees, have you? Now you're fucked! I'll slaughter you! Cut! Yow! Lost your wind? Ah! 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 Curse it! Ah! Ha ha! Had enough! Yeah!
I could do with a bite to eat.
I should turn back before Sir Radzig starts thinking I ran off.
Yeah! Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Sakra. It's hellishly deep here.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Your end is nigh. Is that all you got?
Go!
Oh! What have we got here? Entertainment. Great.
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
No. Come here, Lily Nimmer. Bring it on.
pichavo! Igen. Hideg, hideg! Roll fast!
De vídeo explodiu e agora você não sabe o que fazer, né? Então conheça a GTX Informática, assistência técnica especializada em reparos diversos em hardware, placas-mãe, GPUs, notebooks, monitores e troca de componentes. Link na descrição. Ah, então você tá aí afim? Você tá afim, né? Eu sei, você quer comprar aquele Core i7 aí bolado, não quer? Hein? Quer fazer overclock, quer explodir o processador igual a placa de vídeo que você já explodiu no overclock, né? Mas será que vale a pena realmente gastar esse dinheiro todo no Core i7? É o que a gente vai ver nesse vídeo de hoje. Lembrando, pessoal, vídeo oferecimento pela Terabyte, na descrição, link de produtos para vocês darem uma olhada aí e exercitarem esse espírito capitalista maravilhoso dentro de vocês. Sem mais delongas, vamos lá. E bom, pessoal, antes de mais nada é importante ressaltar o fato de que sim, eu sei que o título é um tanto quanto chamativo, mas essa é a ideia mesmo, atrair mais pessoas para eu poder falar aqui sobre esse assunto. E lembrando que esse vídeo ele tem o intuito de falar com quem ainda vai comprar um processador e não sabe qual, tá indeciso. Tá mais quando a gente fala de CPUs da Intel. Então não é um vídeo voltado para você que tem um Core i7, não repensar se porque não. Você já comprou, é seu, faz o que você quiser. Até porque quando eu coloco no vídeo o título de você não precisa de um Core i7, é apenas para ressaltar a minha opinião sobre isso, e vocês podem discordar à vontade, né? O que você precisa é você que sabe, não sou eu, não é outro canal, não é ninguém. Aqui é só um ponto de vista diferente para vocês tentarem ampliar as ideias. E vamos lá. Por muito tempo e até hoje, o Core i7 da Intel ele sempre foi visto como um sonho de consumo, assim como os Air Jordans ou Easy Boosts da vida são vistos por quem gosta de tênis, certo? E o que acontece? Sempre foram processadores mais caros por conta das tecnologias que eles têm. Então lá no início, assim como é hoje também, a gente sempre teve processadores quad-core com HT. Significa que são processadores com hyperthreading, e esse ponto vai ser muito importante no vídeo. CPUs que geralmente têm um pouco mais de cache que os processadores Core i5 com hyperthreading. É um quad-core com HT, né? Assim que a gente sempre chamou. Hyperthreading é essa que foi desenvolvida pela Intel há muitos anos atrás. O primeiro CPU que eu me lembre, e na verdade provavelmente foi o primeiro CPU a ter, foi o Pentium 4HT Prescott, ou foi o... acho que foi o Prescott, lá de 2003. Então, é uma tecnologia muito antiga que foi aprimorada com o passar dos anos. Eu não vou ficar explicando ela aqui porque vocês já estão cansados de saber. Só que com o passar do tempo, os CPUs começaram a mudar, né? Então a gente teve, por exemplo, a plataforma X79 em 2011 e ela vinha com CPUs quad-core, infelizmente, mas vinha com CPUs hexa-core também. Então não tínhamos mais agora um quad-core com HT, tínhamos um hexa-core com HT. E agora, o que a gente tem no mercado, na plataforma Intel Mid, porque esses CPUs não são high-end, temos CPUs hexa-core com HT e CPUs hexa-core, certo? Era uma coisa que era previsível de acontecer uma hora ou outra. Só que assim, pessoal, Geralmente, eu acredito que a massa de vocês não fazem benchmarks, vocês não trabalham com coisas pesadas. Um ou outro, às vezes, me procura para falar sobre placa quadro, para renderizar com CUDAs ou coisas do tipo, mas a massa do público hoje de informática, esse público aqui que meu canal se enquadra, é um público que joga. Essa é a realidade. O que joga? Eu não faço a menor ideia, mas joga. É o que vocês sempre me perguntam, mandam no direct, que inclusive eu tenho que responder, me desculpem que eu tava sem tempo, vou começar a responder agora. Então é sempre, qual processador é melhor para jogar? Qual processador que gargala com essa placa? Qual que não gargala? Qual placa que esse processador aqui fica bom? Dá pra fazer overclock em Xeon pra jogar? Xeon é bom pra jogo? Compensa importar esse CPU pra montar um PC game? É isso as perguntas, né? São essas as perguntas mais comuns que eu recebo. E por conta disso eu comecei a fazer uma reflexão que é o seguinte. Pra isso, talvez você não precise de um Core i7. E por que eu falo isso, apesar de ter um? É que é o seguinte, pessoal. Eu não sei o porquê, tá? Talvez seja uma má otimização de jogos, seja uma questão ali do sistema operacional, eu não sei. Isso aqui é achismo meu, eu espero que vocês entendam. Só que a diferença de um processador com hyperthreading e um processador sem hyperthreading em jogos deixa a desejar, tá? Às vezes você acha um jogo ou outro que vai conseguir render bem, você vai conseguir, sei lá, ter 20 e poucos FPS de diferença, mas em geral, vamos colocar aqui a situação de que você tem um i5 hexacore atual e você tem um i7 hexacore com HT, certo? Você tem uma placa de vídeo, uma 1070. Cara, com qualquer um desses processadores, a chance de você ter uma perda de desempenho grande é muito baixa, mesmo que esse i7 seja muito mais forte do que o i5. Então o que eu quero dizer aqui? Um dos fatores que faz o i7 ser o i7 é uma coisa que talvez para o seu uso seja quase irrelevante. É óbvio, se você tem condições de comprar um Core i7, compra. É um CPU incrível. Se você tem condição de comprar um Core i7 high-end, compra também. Vai pagar seus 5 pau no processador? Se você tem, cara, compra, vai ser feliz. É um investimento. Aliás, investimento não, porque hardware não é investimento se não te faz dinheiro, né? É uma questão de... É um dinheiro bem gasto, tá? Não são processadores ruins, a Intel não faz CPU ruim. Tá, tirando um ou outro, ela não faz processador ruim, mas... Enfim, e o que acontece? Se você quer montar um PC gamer hoje, se você colocar um Core i5, você vai ser feliz. É simples, não tem o que falar. Onde que mora a grande diferença? A diferença vai morar, por exemplo, se você tirar do seu computador um processador mais antigo e colocar um novo. Aí você vai ter uma diferença. Ou, por exemplo, se você tinha um Core i7 de terceira geração e coloca um Core i7 de última geração, de oitava geração. Porque ali você não está falando só nas tecnologias, você não está falando só em questão de litografia, consumo, você está falando de um CPU que tem 4 threads a mais. Ou seja, porque tem 2 núcleos físicos a mais e ao total 4 threads. Então de um 8 você passou para um CPU com 12. E aí, meu filho, de 8 para 12 você vai ter diferença sim, tá? Simples, simples, simples. Se não for por causa da HT, são esses 2 núcleos a mais que vão dar um desempenho legal. Porque núcleo físico, núcleo real, ele tem mais desempenho do que a hyperthreading. Hyperthreading é uma tecnologia, não é uma coisa física. Então, nessa situação, você vai ter um puta de um salto de desempenho. E para você que tá afim, é válido, é interessante. Ah, Felipe, eu tenho um computador mais antigo, eu quero colocar uma coisa atual, vou colocar o i7. Vai ser incrível. Se você colocar o i5 também, se você sair de um processador i7 de terceira, segunda geração para um i5 atual, que é um i5 hexacore, você também vai ter mais desempenho, isso é fato. Agora, quando você pega CPUs de mesma família, você pega lá o teu Core i5, né, hexacore, e o teu Core i7 hexacore. Cara, não vai ser a hyperthread que vai dobrar teu desempenho. Me desculpa. Não vai ser aquele cache a mais que vai dobrar teu desempenho. Se você fizer overclock no CPU que tem menos núcleos, você vai conseguir ter uma margem de desempenho interessante também. Então, no final das contas, é de se repensar, né? Quando você pega CPUs diferentes, aí é óbvio que você vai ter, por N fatores, uma questão de desempenho maior. Então, qual que é a ideia do vídeo? É mostrar que, se a tua ideia é só ficar jogando, você não precisa de um Core i7. Se você pegar um i5, né, vai ter um desempenho muito bom. A não ser que estejamos falando novamente, é bom deixar isso claro, estejamos falando novamente de CPUs diferentes. Ou seja, você está em dúvida entre um i5 quad-core e um i7 hexacore. Ou você está em dúvida entre um i5 quad-core de famílias mais antigas ou um i7 quad-core de famílias atuais, de geração atual. Aí você vai ter diferença. Mas, de mesma família, pega a coisa que tiver mais barato. Não, pra jogo, pessoal, não tem porquê, entendeu? A não ser que você tenha condições de comprar, eu não vejo motivo disso. Às vezes, de você sacrificar uma placa de vídeo melhor para colocar um i7 ali, que você podia pegar um i5 e colocar uma placa de vídeo um pouco mais forte, que talvez você teria até um desempenho melhor e um aproveitamento melhor. Pelo menos é assim que eu penso, eu espero que esse vídeo tenha ficado claro para vocês. Ah, Felipe, mas e se eu quiser o Core i7 por conta de gargalo, evitar qualquer tipo de gargalo? Bom, é um ponto interessante a ser levado em consideração. Porque daí sim, talvez a Hyperthreading seja aquele diferencial que vai conseguir corrigir uma falta de processamento dependendo da placa de vídeo. Então você saiu de um i5, você saiu de um Ryzen mais fraco, colocou um i7 para poder corrigir isso, certo? Só que assim, isso vai acontecer quando a placa é bem forte, tá? As pessoas elas têm um problema com esse negócio de gargalo, que elas acham que qualquer coisa vai dar gargalo com qualquer coisa. Não é assim que funciona, pessoal. Um Ryzen, um 1800X, ele vai dar conta de muita placa de vídeo. Um i5 atual vai dar conta de muita placa de vídeo. Um i5 de 7ª geração vai dar conta de várias placas de vídeo também. Então, dependendo do modelo da placa, talvez, por exemplo, um 8700K seria interessante para jogo se fosse duas coisas. Ou se você joga um jogo muito pesado, mas geralmente aí quando pesa muito assim, talvez não seja uma questão de falta de processamento, mas sim de otimização. Ou se você quer colocar uma placa de vídeo muito forte ou duas placas de vídeo. Ou dependendo das placas, é interessante até um high-end mesmo, pegar um negócio ali já um X299, eu não sei, tá? Porque aí vai entrar uma questão, quando a gente fala de multi-GPU, já começa a entrar uma questão de lanes, de PCI Express, não é mais uma coisa só de desempenho do próprio CPU. Então é isso. A não ser que você vá usar uma placa de vídeo para jogar muito forte, e o que seria uma placa muito forte? Aí, meu filho, é uma 2080 Ti, uma 2080 talvez, uma Titan XP, essas placas parrudas mesmo, né? Qualquer placa abaixo disso, um i5 atual, acho dificilmente que ele vai sofrer tanto assim para levar uma placa dessa, porque novamente o i5 que a gente tem de 8ª geração é um hexa-core, não é um CPU fraquinho como a gente tinha antigamente, né? Então aí sim, talvez, dependendo do que você for colocar junto com o PC, seja interessante o i7 mesmo que seja só para jogo. Bom, esse é meu ponto de vista. O vídeo vai ficando por aqui, eu espero que vocês tenham gostado, espero que vocês tenham entendido o vídeo. Dúvidas nos comentários e até mais. Fui!
Take that like
conheci.